There's my raft. Nothing's changed except I think it floated around in a different direction. Pigs might have played with it a little bit, I don't know. But I've got you down here because, well, while we're here, let's take a look at the edge of the pond. Water's kind of cloudy right now because it's basically we've had so little rain. Also, the level of the pond has dropped some because of little rain. It never is clear. After all, this pond was built over a site where they washed iron ore. But anyway, this is where that pile of logs was that I didn't really know what I could do. I tried to use them as a raft. They didn't float, and they're too weak to use for anything else, but they're chestnut. Well, this is what Adam and I did with it yesterday in about a half hour. It wasn't probably too much more than a half hour. This is my sauna, the start for my sauna. You gotta kind of crawl into it. But there's a bench on that side and a bench on this side. I'll have a little kind of stove in the middle of it. I'll put a roof over it. I'll bring some more material down here, clearly. For the roof. I didn't even try to make it level. I didn't level it up. I did try to put it between two ditches on a pretty dry spot. But anyway, I thought I'd just show you that. Kind of funny in a way. I can wrap it with blankets or felts or something like that if I really do want to use it, like in the winter. Anyway, I'll probably wrap it with something, no matter what, feed sacks. I had enough left over, well, that they were just basically unusable. I'd gone through everything I could use, but I couldn't get another layer out of it, so I built a bench down here where I can sit down to work on making my raft a little bit longer. And there was some that has to become firewood. This is Frank's Hall seen from the west, and I haven't really done much of anything here lately. It's waiting for, at this time of year, the field work is still predominant. But I wanted to walk in. Here comes Mango to say hi, to show that Adam and I, well, here are some components to the raft extension. I'll build them in here because it's shady and not so buggy, and then carry them down. And I have a lot more material for components saved up there. But anyway, Adam was here yesterday. I said that already. And he's big and really strong. And I just had him, this wasn't hard to do. But he helped me to put the top piece. There's only two pieces here to the cook stove. And this is the top piece. Now the smaller pieces are there, and I'll fill them in to the extent that I can. It's in such bad shape I'll have to use masonry in many places, but I've got it about in the right place, backed up against the chimney. This you've seen before. This will be the furnace. I think I'm going to turn it at 90 so that the door is actually over here. And that's what I'm going to use for the basis for my quote-unquote throne, which I've fixed, I repaired it, and I'll put it basically here, facing in that direction, and cover it. I mean, when I've got this material out of the way. All right, I got one other thing I want to show you. I say one more thing, it always turns out with me to be 2 or 3 or 4. I've come up here to the hillside that I'm irrigating brand new, and I haven't tuned it up yet, but I come by every day and just tune it up a little bit. Always amazed that the water is still arriving from the mountain. But I drilled some holes in that fiberglass tub, and while Adam was here yesterday, we carried it up here. That's going to be a distribution box where the water will, the surface of the water there will be the same height as the surface of the water there coming from the mountain. But then, and I probably will pipe it down to that, but it'll be level. And there I'll distribute it between an aqueduct going that way, as well as a penstock, an aqueduct going that way, as well as a penstock, and then spillover to irrigate when I'm not using the water for power. So I'm going to tune this up and then still head for something else I want to show you. It's clear down there. In my tuning up, I usually work just where there still is water to work with. But I thought I'd stop and show you this, give you some idea of what the pigs do. They left the other ground alone, but what I'd pulled down, they root through it. Now I come along with the hoe and very easily then reestablish the water line. But see, we work together. Now since the water has is slowed up so much, I can't fill these zonjas anymore at the moment. But you see how they've worked that ground up? They also sort of decimated their tomato patch. But I think that was just from walking through it. I don't think they were actually eating their tomatoes yet. They probably will. So you see, they work with me. Having learned what I did from that half hour of building a sauna down there by the pond, you know, I'm walking along and I'm thinking, oh, here's a lot more material I could use, and I could. It's kind of tedious to take it all the way down there, though. I don't think I'll do that, but I've got enough material here, really, to build an entire log house. But it's so stressed. I mean, it's so weathered and damaged and rotted and stuff. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this, but I'll probably do it as a log structure of some kind, somewhere right around here. Just don't know, but I have a lot of material. And I have that spring, I see it's finally gone dry down there that I've been trying, or spring. I'm still trying to figure out what that was. Aha! Now that the water's the water's gone dry. Oh, it's gone dry coming from the mountain too. I'll come down here and see if I can get that water going a little bit more. But now is a great time to dig here and just see what I just did a little bit, and I came up with a sandstone. You know, yeah, I'll come back here later today and dig around here a little bit. I'm not so limited now how deep to dig. Well, I could dig till I reach water. Yes, this whole western pasture has gone dry from visible surface water. And I mean, normally it would be full or have water in all the ditches all the way from up there where I started all the way down to the road. Now there's water in the creek, I'm sure, and I'll work on that. But now I turn to a different supply of water, and that's over here. That one comes from Oppenheimer Run, and I've started to work on that yesterday with Adam, and if I reopen this, I can get that water to be supplied now from this side, and I can't run it uphill, but I can run it on out and I can keep the lower pasture filled. Now this took us about an hour. The hardest part by far was to dig out the old. A lot of it is broken up, it's completely blocked. Today I'll dig this out this afternoon, dig them out and replace them. I see that there's 4 there, and here that I put 5 in. I've got one. I'll wheelbarrow down some others from up there at the barn. There you can see the waters. I had to take a few blockages out right here that the pigs made the last time they crossed. But you can see the water wants to go that way. And you know, it won't take too much, and I'll certainly do that today, because you know, I like to keep that area irrigated as long as I can. Actually, I won't stand here and wait, but I think in short order you'd see, there it is, there you can see it's coming and wants to go. This now gets pretty critical this time of year. I have to maintain this. Oppenheimer Run, I've never seen it go dry. And of course I just take some of the water out of it. But I got to make sure I don't have big blockages, because then it would not only stop this, it would stop that side.